Hey guys, it's Chris from Elemental Cartomancy. I wanted to pop on. I'm looking after my niece today. It's Monday. I don't work on a Monday. I look after my niece, and she's away for her afternoon nap. And I decided I wanted to be productive, so I thought I would do another wee tarot tag. Um, Back when I first started my channel, in one of the comments, I think it was on my first video, someone had asked me just to do a video telling them a bit more about myself, how I read, etc. Um, I'd said, so I've done readings before on Cross Paths and with Robin at Toadstool Tarot. Um, so you can actually see me doing live readings there for people, which is as good an indicator as any really as to how I read. Um, I'll link both those channels below. But I thought I would do a wee tag just to let you all know a wee bit more about me. So this is actually a tag from about 3.5 years ago actually. This is a tag that Arwen Lynch started. It's called Tarot Tag 15. So it's like 15 questions that you go through and answer essentially. So without further ado, question number one is, what is your current favourite deck? And that is without a doubt the Lightseers Tarot. You've all heard me go on about this deck. It's my soul deck. So that is my current favourite. The next question says, what tarot card do you think stands for who you are now? I probably have to pick the Page of Wands for now. I would say overall I see myself as being very kind of Page of Cups. That kind of, that's me and my personality, walking about, my head up my backside, head in the clouds, that's me. But the question was, what stands for who I am now? And I had a wee thinking. I'm going through, I'm planning my wedding just now. I've just started this channel, so I'm obviously kind of trying to channel quite a lot of kind of creative skills and putting these things together. And I thought, well, the wands is probably a good suit to go for. I suppose that's kind of what's what I'm embodying just now. I've picked the page in part because, well, I don't see myself as being, an expert at anything really. I'm very much kind of going through the motions just now, trying to kind of plan things out, pull plans together, all that kind of thing. I suppose there's a wee bit of night energy in there as well. But the reason I've gone for the page is because one of the attributes of the Page of Wands is she, in particular in this deck, if you look at what Chris Ann says online, if you look at our website online, our meanings for the cards, for the Page of Wands, she says every time the Page of Wands gets a new idea, she throws her wand up into the air, and that's what you can see here. You can see her kind of throwing her wand up to catch it again. The Page of Wands kind of goes through this never-ending phase of having brilliant new ideas and starting these projects, but without guidance. Page of Wands is one of those people who will end up with a trail of unfinished projects behind her or him, or them. So, and I can be quite bad for that sometimes, to be honest. I really need to kind of focus and challenge myself and force myself to stick at things sometimes. Otherwise I'll end up with all those kind of started projects, all those amazing brainwaves, all those amazing ideas that I thought at the time and that I haven't stuck with. So yeah, Page of Wands, definitely who I am right now. And for the next one, it's who stands for who you want to be. So I thought, well, King of Wands. The King of Wands is still very much about action. He's the one king who isn't quite content just to sit back in his throne and just watch all the work being done for him. The King of Wands, depending on what deck you're looking at, and this one, he's kind of up on his feet, and you can see the line behind him. It's a very kind of active energy. It's that that fire energy. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, he's in his seat, but he's sitting if you look, he's sitting forward in his seat. So he still very much longs to be a part of the action, and I think that's always going to be me. I'm not really kind of one of these people who can just sit back and and do nothing for very long. And obviously, because I see myself as the page right now, then I kind of envision myself as having that kind of king, maybe like the queen energy. So yeah, definitely King of Wands is where I hopefully see myself going. Now the next question number 4, is to draw a tarot card and tell us how it answers the question, what does the universe want you to know right now? So I've stuck my page and King of Wands back in the deck, and I'm just having a wee shuffle just now. So let's have a look and see what the universe wants me to know right at this moment in time. Ooh, I've got the Fool. So the Fool's right there. I've said before, I love this particular Fool because it's like that kind of trust exercise type thing, you know, when you let yourself fall back and trust the person behind you to catch you. That kind of team building thing. And obviously in this case, there's no one behind her. She's letting herself fall back off the cliff and onto this kind of like sacred geometrical type thing. So she's kind of letting herself fall back and trusting the universe to catch her, is the way I read it. She's got like kind of her wand in one hand, she's got a crystal in the other. So what does the universe want me to know right now? It looks to me like I really need to kind of trust in the universe itself. You know, throw myself into it, whatever it happens to be. So whenever I'm presented with new opportunities, then to me that's telling me that I really need to kind of grab them. Don't listen to the naysayers who tell you, oh, you've never done that before, you know, that's not how we've done it in the past. I think Jen at Jen's Balanced Tarot said in a very recent video, you know, that one of her pet hates is when someone says, oh, but that's just how we've always done it. And I'm kind of the same, but at the same time, sometimes I need to challenge myself and, you know, stop myself from having that kind of mentality. So yeah, definitely trust the universe, grab any new opportunities, you know, by the horns, and really just go for it. So that seems to be the message that the cards have got for me. Do you have any cards that you must love in order to work with a tarot deck for question number 5? I would say no. I mean, I like to, obviously I need to kind of gel with the deck to a certain level. I wouldn't say there's any one particular card in every deck that I need to get on with, or otherwise it's a no-go. I do always have a wee look at the Lover's card, and that's not so much because I need it to be an amazing Lover's card. For me, if you're looking at a deck, and obviously it's a bit different these days because we can look online and, you know, pull up a YouTube walkthrough and see every card in the deck. But if you're kind of trying to get a quick snapshot of what the deck is like, you know, for me, there's just something that I feel the Lover's card is normally quite a good indicator. It's usually quite a good indicator as to how diverse the deck is going to be. I don't think I'm going to be able to find the Lovers very fast in this deck. It's a good indicator as to, it can be a good indicator as to these things, so it isn't always, but it can be a good indicator as to, you know, is this deck going to be very kind of against nudity? Usually, you know, if the Lover's card is fully clothed and everything's covered up, Lovers and the Star, I suppose the Star as well, then that's usually an indicator that the deck in general is going to be like that for me. Yeah, so the Lovers is one that I would check, but I wouldn't say that it needs to be amazing for me to get on with the deck. Question number 6, why tarot and not some other divination system? So I do use a bit of Oracle, I do use some other stuff, but what I would say about tarot is really the proof is in the pudding. I've been doing tarot for a long time. Along the way I've tried and tested other methods, and I don't get me wrong, I like a bit of Oracle especially. I've got my Oracle there, got my soul cards, and I really enjoy reading with them. But I've tried things like Lenormand, runes, like I say, the proof is in the pudding. Tarot is the one that works best for me. I don't really have some big explanation of why that is. It's just the one that I like best. The first book. What is the first book that you can remember reading about tarot other than the Little White Book? So it's probably, I just had this ready, this one, Secrets of Tarot by Annie Lionette or Leonie. It's not a big book, as you can see, but in my opinion, it's a really good wee book. The explanations, the definitions of the cards are enough that let you do a really good reading, but they're not so much that they completely bamboozle you. And it has a good bit of information on spreads and, you know, taking care of your cards and all that kind of stuff as well. So I would say that that's quite a good wee book. And that's the first one that I remember reading, other than one of the books that came with a deck. What tarot person would you like to sit down with for a chat about tarot? Every day of the week, absolutely 100% Rachel Pollock. Like, I'm a total Rachel Pollock fanboy. And nothing more needs said about that. Question number 9. Tell me about one YouTube channel that you watch and why. So I watch so many. Like, I'm subscribed to so many amazing channels and I love them all. But if there's one channel that has to be mentioned, it has to be Simon at the Hermit's Cave. It's just such an entertaining channel. Simon is just such a down-to-earth, all-round nice guy. His channel, like I say, is so entertaining. It's so enjoyable to watch. You know, he's got a load of different things that he does. He does so much for this community. He's a very kind of selfless content creator. You know, he does he's catching up with series where he kind of interviews a member of the community. He shouts out channels. He's shouted out my channel before, you know, to try and kind of promote other channels, not just his own. Simon's someone who's kind of been through his fair share of shit in the past, and he almost kind of wields that in a way to inspire the rest of us to you know, to deal with our own stuff. And he's just such a shining beacon of light for this community, in my opinion. So yeah, absolutely 100%. I would have to say Simon at the Hermit's Cave, and I'll put a wee link. I don't think anyone who's watching this video is going to need me to link his channel, but I'll do it nonetheless. How many tarot decks do you have? So tarot is 35, and the reason I know is because I counted them up recently when I did my hashtag tarot shelf. Do you mix oracles and tarot when you read? Not really, no. I wouldn't say that I do. It's usually one or the other. I certainly never kind of shuffle them in together. So I definitely don't mix them that way. I'm not really one for like pulling clarifiers either. Usually I try and make do with the cards that I've got. And if I'm pulling clarifiers, I would pull it from the deck that I'm using. You know, that to me that those cards are shuffled and in that order for a reason. So if you're kind of pulling anything else, then it would be the next card on the top of the pile. It's just the way I read. Have you ever created your own tarot deck, own tarot card or deck? No, not really. I would say that the closest I've come to that is when I drew along with Ellen Shane, as part of on their channel Wolf Meets Witch. They did I think it was called a creative crash course, and it was basically you went through and drew each tarot card in a minute and 5 seconds each, and I drew along with them, and I got pretty much well, I didn't get all of them. I didn't quite catch all of them, but I did the most of them, I would say. But that was just for, for my own learning experience. It wasn't for the purpose of creating a deck. And I'll put a wee link to their channel below as well. Do you read for yourself? Yes, I do. What are your favourite questions? So question number 14, what are your favourite questions to be asked when you do a reading for someone else? I don't know if I've got a favourite question. All I would say is that I prefer open questions to closed questions. I'm not a big fan of yes/no questions. I just don't think the tarot lends itself to that very well. I like kind of more open questions, things like tell me about the energies surrounding this relationship, this job, whatever it might be, rather than am I going to get this job, or does this person love me? Do you know what I mean? And then question number 15, the final question, is what's the craziest thing that's happened to you during a reading? I don't think I've really had anything crazy happen to me during a reading. I would love to tell you that a big thunderbolt came down and struck the road outside us, but nothing like that has ever happened. I've never had anything. I've had people say, oh, things really resonate. I've had someone say, I think they said, get out of my head as a joke. But yeah, nothing I would deem crazy. So this endeth the Tarot Tag 15. Which was quite good fun. Hopefully it's allowed you to get to know me a tiny wee bit better as a person and maybe as a reader as well. Thanks very much for tuning in, and I'll hopefully catch you all soon.